Greetings, one and all, from the White Mountains of Arizona, where we are experiencing just ideal weather. It's a little cold at night. The temperatures drop below freezing, but during the days, we're having some great sun. So we're happy here in the beginning of December. Anyway, today we're talking about mantids. We're going to channel the mantid species. Admittedly, I don't know much about them. Let me tell you what I think I know. I think they're lower astral or negative polarity 4D beings. And I think they have some hand in the control system of this cube, maybe with the money systems, financial systems. So maybe we'll find out about that. And they're just a negative polarity, service to self entity who's stuck in the cube along with us. That's what I think I know about them. We'll see how that information lines up with what we find out here today. I don't know who she's going to connect with. And I do want to say that if you're having trouble with our terminology, let us know in the comment section, but also go ahead and check out past channelings. We're just learning alongside you guys here. We're just asking questions and getting answers and then filtering those answers through our higher selves. So we encourage you to do the same. Check out the playlist, the channeling playlist. If you start at the beginning and follow along with us, you'll grow along with us, because that's what we've done as a result of this channeling, is we've grown significantly. So yeah, check out the channelings and definitely subscribe so you see all these videos as they come out every Monday morning. Here is Tara, looking super Arizona today.
Okay.
Okay, who are you connected to?
A mantid.
A mantid. All right. Is this mantid in the 4th energetic frequency?
It says that it's between two densities. It says between the 4th and the 6th, where it says its consciousness is in the 6th, but the other, like a fragment of its consciousness and energy, is in the 4th.
Is it the higher self that's in the 6th realm?
Part of it, yes. The majority of it.
And its ego is in the 4th realm?
Yes, and also aspects, like a piece of its higher self.
So we're going to be speaking to the aspect of it that has mostly ego, but a piece of its higher self?
Yes.
Okay, what can you tell us about your species?
We have learned to work together, but we are mostly solitary, individual. But along the airwaves, the frequencies, we know what others are doing and we respond. This is how we communicate and work together.
So you operate sort of like humans do in the 3D, where we're a collective of individuals, yet we're still working together, but we're mostly sovereign in our individual consciousness.
Yes, we do not like interference. We'd rather complete a task, and the success of that task was our individual self.
So you don't like sharing credit with others, even of your own kind?
Exactly. Do not like freeloaders.
So are you a service to self entity?
Yes. Serving the self should be priority number 1.
How much of you is actually in 4D? And how much of you is on the precipice of 3D and 4D?
It would not be too far off with how human consciousness operates, or any other consciousness within this box. We are an aspect, just like you are an aspect of something outside the box. So we could neither say a majority of us is in the box or outside of the box. It is merely a portion, and that portion eventually becomes reunited.
Right. So you have an understanding that you are your higher self. The higher self is just a different aspect of your current consciousness, and that you will return to wholeness in some way or another at some point. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
But currently you're trapped in the box. So are you aware of your free will crime or violation?
in a way, but we do not call it a free will violation
Sure.
or crime, merely a way to come here and figure it out, get back.
Yes, our terminology is clumsy. We don't have a word for it yet. But are you aware of your free will crime, for lack of a better word, and what you did to get here?
We don't look at anything as a crime or a punishment. Is it a crime to carry out your duties, to be yourself, to express yourself, to not express yourself and hold yourself back would be inauthentic. Authenticity is what you crave, you like. So, if it is authentic to control another, then why would we be anything other?
I feel like we're getting lost in semantics here. Perhaps you don't want to answer the question, which is fine. But yes, I understand that it wasn't a crime. I understand that we each of us chose to be here, and we chose to commit what I can only call a violation because I have no other vocabulary for it. We committed that violation in order to come to this cube. So I'm wondering if you are aware of the violation you committed in order to enter this cube.
Yes, and we would do it again.
Do you want to speak on what it was?
No,
Oh, okay. So what is your role here in the cube? I assume you've been here a while and you have a part to play here. So what is your part?
to control the population, to control the populace, help within certain quadrants, aspects of the cube. If the cube box were a confined space, which it is not, it is infinite, as all things are infinite, infinite within itself. Off track. But we come for population control, control the perceptions, control the minds, control your desires, not just human, all things, just a form of control. Make you believe what you think you are, that it was all your own thinking.
Okay, so are you saying that the Mantids are the ones in control and behind the scenes of the shadow governments, entertainment, movies, sports, music, history, science? Is that what you're saying?
Mm, not in your face type topics, but more the subtleties. We deal in subtlety. So if you give your power to something, it becomes your God. We prey on the subtleties of your insecurities, your not wanting to look into your darkness, your anxieties, your self doubts. We play on those, but we didn't create the thing that you called God. We did not make you give your power away to it, but we will play upon it.
Huh, that's interesting. You didn't want to talk about your shadow of your violation. Okay, no comment. So you're more subtle with your programming. Does that mean, let's say, the idea of gravity, let's say, do you have something to do with that?
Gravity, falling, not our specialty.
What about the financial systems?
Yes, it is one of your gods. Anything that you call God, we play upon the subtleties.
Okay, let's use the example of the financial institutions. How do you manipulate and control those in order to coerce our behavior?
We place things in front of you, again, not making you do anything. But let's say we place a shiny new car in front of you, and now all of a sudden you desire this thing. You must have this thing to feel whole because you feel empty for one reason or another. Fill it with something. Perhaps you were left friendless, or someone betrayed you in a way and you want to fill that pain. You find the light, but the light is merely a reflection in the shiny car. And so your shadows, your triggers come up when you see this car, and now this car has become your god. Now you must call on one of your other gods, the money, to help you obtain this thing, but you don't have enough money because you are not worthy. So you push yourself harder as a form of punishment in order to get what you call God, in order to get the other thing that you also call God. And eventually you do obtain it, but the satisfaction lasts no more than a day.
Devious. Well played. So, what do you get out of controlling humanity in this way? What is your reward?
Eventually, all those we work with, we will be elevated in our energetic status, and we will become closer to leaving this place, although we are not in any hurry. We are merely waiting for those who were here first, but they have gone, and now we wait.
So, you think that you have to wait for the Anunnaki to return in order to release you from this prison?
Sort of.
Could you help me to be more specific?
Although we don't feel that we need the Anunnaki's permission, nor their help entirely to help us to leave, we do feel that they would elevate us in our energy. And in that elevated energy, we decide what we will do with it. Will we stay or will we leave? So it is not the Anunnaki that make us leave, but merely become an aid and help to elevate us.
It sounds like that you've used your sovereignty in order to give your sovereignty away to a power outside of yourself, in this case, Anunnaki.
This is the way our energy works. We feed on each other, and that is the way.
Well, you feed on humanity. You don't feed on other mantids, correct?
There is a feeding frenzy in both. Perhaps we feed or prey upon what you are too scared to acknowledge, but we also feed upon each other, not in the literal sense, but we know that they are needed in order for us to get to the next level. So we work together.
It sounds like one entity cannibalizes the life force of another entity and uses their power to increase their own. Would that be accurate?
Yes, you do it as well. Perhaps You don't look down upon it as you would our polarity.
How do humans do it? Do you mean by eating ourselves 3 times a day?
Yes, eating yourself, drinking yourself, breathing yourself, utilizing others as stepping stones on the backs of others to get what you desire. Yes.
Well, we behave that way because you've controlled our behavior to be that way.
Well, then think for yourself. But not many of you do. So is it my fault that you are ignorant?
It's not your fault. It just puts you squarely into a lower polarity, one that doesn't even understand that you have the power to vibrate out of this frequency cube anytime you feel like it, just by learning from your light and shadow and finding your neutrality. But you don't seem to understand that.
And perhaps we will get to that when we get to that. For now, this is not our concern.
But how are you going to ever get to that if you're constantly putting your energy into things outside of yourself, such as the Anunnaki?
This is none of your concern.
Well, I'd like to learn from you, and in doing so, I'd like to teach you as well, and vice versa. Is that not why we're speaking? Why have
I
you,
suppose.
yeah, why have you chosen to speak with us today?
It gives me a satisfaction, in a way, for the veil to be pulled away from one's eyes. Although some who come across this transmission will already understand much of this, but for those who were unaware that their actions may not have been entirely their own, but manipulated, it is the shock, the disgust with oneself, the aha moment in a very anxious way that we crave.
Okay, so you get off on waking people up because you then,
Because we hold the power, not you.
I see. How come you appear to us as mantid beings, as praying mantises?
Think of a praying mantis. Do you ever see many mantises together dancing in harmony? No. We're individual. We feed upon the others. We cannibalize each other. We are cyclical. We take without thoughts. Why feel for the energy that you are taking from if you say that we are all just the same being, we are all the same stuff, the same energy? Then it doesn't matter who or what I take from. And so even your praying mantises, your insectoids in this realm, they take, and they don't care how much or how little they take. And they will cannibalize each other, and they will work in solitary. But yet you find them fascinating because you see a part of yourself in this as being alone and in a cage, somehow unable to connect to others. And so you connect to the mantids and even consider them lucky in some instances because they help to show you that it is all about the self and your own self gain, your own self desires, your own destiny is the only thing that matters.
Wow, but you do realize you're in polarity, and that only makes sense from your extreme polarity. Isn't neutrality more of a truth?
This is not something we desire.
You desire illusion?
There can be fun within illusion as well, but understanding that you know what the illusion is.
As long as you're the one doing the conniving and scheming, it's great.
Yes, do not magicians get off, as you say, in taking their audience for a journey on a ride.
Oh, they sure do, but most of us are aware that they're false. It's all illusion, smoke and mirrors. They have no actual power.
But not all in the audience believe this. Some, to some degree, want it to be real.
Well, yeah.
They want the magic to be real. And they want to see the being, the magician, the worker of energy standing on the stage to be the one that gives them the answers. Everyone is looking for a god, a guru, a teacher.
No, those are the lowest polarity, the lowest consciousness, the dumbest ones among us fall for that. That's their vibration.
Well, they are not small in number. It is half and half.
Fair enough, half and half, but let's not say that it's the majority, because that's certainly not true. Okay, well, it's been fascinating speaking with you. I love talking to your polarity, and I think we have spoken to your kind before, so this was a great way to reconnect. So I thank you for speaking with us. I love you. You are love. I am love. So thank you for being here. Do you have any last message for the people before we go?
Yes. Try connecting with your insectoids, your mantises, your praying mantises. How do they make you feel? What part of you feels connected? You can feel connection yet disgust at the same time. Maybe you want to dive into it. Maybe you want to understand why we would want to behead hummingbirds. Why? We always have a reason. We don't do anything without a reason.
Yeah, the praying mantises love to come onto the hummingbird feeder, and they just wait there for a hummingbird. And since the praying mantis's reaction speed is faster than that of a hummingbird, they grab them, they chop their heads off, they drink their cerebral fluids, and then they just dump the body. So anytime I see a mantid on the hummingbird feeder, I put him on a stick and I yeet him.
Yeah,
Go
you're
for a ride,
going
buddy.
somewhere else.
Yeah, go be service to self.
Yeah.
In another place, please. So what'd you think?
Well, that was interesting. It was just different this time with the energy jumping in. It was like feeling it differently. Like, not, instead of like the way I feel positive polarity or negative polarity, neutral, it's usually most of it's the majority of my energy, but they're in there and they're just talking. But this time it's like this being comes in and I could almost like I am negative polarity. Like it was like feeling like it was that I am negative polarity. Like feeling like I'm wholly it. Like seeing it fully from its point of view.
Well, that's probably because in our personal healing, we've been stepping into our negative shadow aspect selves more and seeing things from our shadow perspective. So now when you channel, you probably are opening up to your shadow side and letting more truth come in, I guess.
Yeah, so like this being comes in and then like there's the part of me that's like super disgusted. It's like, I don't I don't like that point of view. I don't like how you feel. But then I didn't want to push it away either.
You got to learn from it.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to go sit and feel like a horrible person.
Well, that's why we're going to ground in nature on our way back home and wipe that energy off.
I feel like it's gone, but it was just a weird feeling to all of a sudden feel like you're nothing but negative polarity. Not a negative polarity sitting inside a positive polarity, but like you feel like you're nothing but negative. So that was interesting.
I mean, it's been transformational for us both to go into our negative aspects and see like our life situations, see the past, see our traumas from our negative polarity aspect. Wow. Talk about like changing the game.
Yeah. So I think, maybe it was really beneficial to have this mantid who really, really loves the negative polarity. It's like all about it. But like to learn from that and try to, like we've been trying to see things from the point of view of the opposite polarity without the filter of our positive polarity. Exactly. So like instead of like the light looking at it, it's just like, let's really get in there.
Yeah.
really try to like feel like they feel. And sure, it may feel disgusting at first, but how else are you going to learn?
Yeah. That's the final part of this cube puzzle, I think, is learning about your opposite polarity. If you're a positive polarity, it's all fun and games to go and spread love and light and all that. But you're going to be stuck here, in our opinion, until you learn about your opposite aspect. And that's why you're here, is to learn about your opposite aspect so that you could bring balance and understanding from a balanced perspective. And then you can leave here.
Yeah. I mean, sure, on top of all our other missions and stuff that we all have individually, but yeah, ultimately it's just learning both halves, you know, both for the positive and the negative polarities and the neutral polarities. Like they're all just trying to understand themselves fully. And I think that that's why healing and shadow work is so great, because the more you understand the part of yourself that you're most disgusted by or you don't want to look at, the easier it is to have more clarity when you're making decisions in your everyday life where that negative polarity isn't filtering in, you know. So
they've already got a lot to think about.
Okay.
So you're going off, man.
All right, I'm going off. So you guys go off in the comments.
Yeah.
You know, let's have this discussion here. Let us know what you thought. And for those of you guys that are getting those one-on-one channelings, those have been amazing. So definitely check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. And we will catch you guys.
And subscribe if you haven't already, so you stay up to date every Monday morning. And for the bonus videos we might release from time to time.
Which, you know, if you're a part of Patreon or YouTube members, you get bonus.
Oh yeah, they get to see it first. So they get to vote on it.
They get to vote on it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Ciao.